in vain do the builders labor. Indeed, Lord, it was you who formed our inward parts. You knit us together in our mother's womb. We praise you for all of us are fearfully, wonderfully made. All things are of your making. All times, all seasons obey your laws. You made man the steward of creation. We, the council, meet here as stewards of the city of South Bend. We pray, Father, that our decisions spread your peace, reflect your love, and add to your glory. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before you read the roll, please. Mr. Henry Davis. Henry's there. Mr. LaFountain. Here. Mrs. Pizzello. Present. Dr. Varner. Present. Vice President Oliver Davis. Present. Mr. Cursit. Present. Council Member Rouse. Present. Council Member White. Present. President Dieter. Present. Mr. Gordy. 9 present. Can I get a report from the subcommittee on minutes? To the Common Council of the City of South Bend, the subcommittee has inspected the minutes of the August 22nd, 2011 meeting of the council and found them to be correct. Therefore, we recommend the same be approved. Signed, Derek Dieter, David Varner.
Move that the minutes be approved.
Second. Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Any special business before this council? Reports of city officers. Seeing none, could I have a motion resolving the committee?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Session. This is the portion of the council meeting where we hear the second reading, public hearings. We received reports from the standing committees for the agenda, and then the public will have a chance to come and give favorable or unfavorable opinions, and the council makes a decision to send it to the third reading, the full council, either favorably or negatively. Mr. Gordy, would you please give first reading the bill? Second reading of Bill 4211.
Public hearing on a bill amending the zoning ordinance for property bounded by Pine Street, Western Avenue, Laurel Street, and the First Alley north of Western Avenue, Councilmanic District 2, in the city of South Bend, Indiana.
Thank you, Mr. Boyd. Committee report.
Yes, we do, Mr. Chair. The Zoning and Annexation Committee met this afternoon and sent Bill number 4211 to the full council with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you, Mr. Curtis. The petitioner, please.
Trustee Matter with the Area Planning Commission. Office is on the 11th floor. The petitioner is requesting a zone change from the MU Mixed Use District and the PUD Planned Unit Development District to all PUD Planned Unit Development District, to allow for an off-site parking lot for the Ray and Joan Kroc Community Center and for one off-premise advertising sign or billboard with 2 sign faces. Here we have a picture of the site from the northeast corner looking back at the Kroc Center across Western Avenue, and then this is the back of the existing billboard. The site is just over an acre. It will contain 87 parking spaces and a relocated off-premise advertising sign or billboard. The billboard is currently at the southwest corner of the lot. The sign will not be more than 300 square feet in area and will not be more than 30 feet in height. The landscaping will be the same as in the City of South Bend zoning ordinance. Paved areas will cover 70%, open spaces would be 30%, and the accesses would be from both Laurel Street and Pine Street. As you can see, the eastern 182 feet are already zoned PUD, and were done so as part of the original Kroc Center rezoning. To the north is our homes zoned SF1, single-family and two-family district. To the east is a vacant lot zoned CB Community Business District that is actually also being developed as a parking area for the Kroc Center. To the south is the Croc Center, and to the west across Laurel Street is an Elks Lodge zoned MU mixed-use district. At the Area Plan Commission public hearing, Bill Salio with Community and Economic Development spoke in favor, and a resident questioned the condition of Pine Street and was answered by Mr. Gillette. This petition comes to the Common Council with a favorable recommendation. The parking lot will support the community center, and the relocated billboard will be farther away from Laurel Street and have less of an impact on the neighborhood and allow for better usage of the parking lot. Are there any questions?
Any questions, council? Seeing none. Thank you. Is there a petitioner present? Please come to the podium and state your name and address.
Good evening. My name is Bert Miller from the Troyer Group, 550 Union Street, Mishawaka, Indiana, representing the Salvation Army and Burkhardt Advertising. Thank you for allowing us to come before you tonight. As Krista has said, this is a part of the overall Croc Center development. It is the final portion of it. We've worked together with Burkhardt Advertising and the Salvation Army alongside city engineering, city development, the building department. We've worked very closely with the city on this project to make this happen, and we're very excited about it. It brings forth a great opportunity for an improved parking area, better access for the parking lot, people to get out from onto Laurel and then onto Western, and we just think it makes what needs to be done here happen in a much greater and more efficient way. And look forward to your positive response to it.
Thank you, sir. Council, any questions of the petitioner? Seeing none, hearing none. Anyone present wishing to speak in favor of Bill 4211? Please come to the podium and state your name and address.
My name is Jacqueline Ruffer. I serve as the board chair for the Salvation Army Advisory Committee, and my office is located at 217 South Michigan Street in South Bend. Having this voted on favorably would help to ease the movement of vehicles in and out of the parking lot, and would make it that much easier for the people who participate in the Croc Center to be able to do the things that they really get there to do and not have to be hung up with traffic. And so I hope that you would vote favorably for it.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Angela Watson Washington, also from the Advisory Board of the Salvation Army. Home address is 1249 Echo Drive. And I also am in favor of this. I hope you vote favorably for it. We need the additional parking spaces for staff and for the additional patrons of the Croc Center.
Thank you, ma'am. Anyone else wishing to speak in favor? Anyone from the public wishing to speak against Bill 4211, please come to the podium. Seeing none, hearing none, council members, is there a motion to it? Yes.
I'm sorry about this. I thought maybe Gary was going to get up and talk about the improvements to Laurel Street. And I obviously missed my opportunity to ask that question. But during the course of the subcommittee meeting, we talked about the street improvements, and I just wanted to find out how far down Laurel Street will the improvements be made, and will that street be widened, or will it be the same size as it is right now, or will it be, decreased as far as the width?
You want to ask that question, Mr. Gillette?
Yes.
Someone from the field?
Yes.
Mr. Gillette?
I mean, you don't have to give an answer if you don't want.
Kind of like,
Gary Gillette, Public Works Director, offices 13th floor of this building. The conversations I've had with the Croc Center indicate that the adjacent pavement for Laurel and Pine near the parking lot will be resurfaced, that there will be new curbs and new sidewalk. I had indicated at the earlier meeting that if there was any gap in the scope of work there, the city would fill it with its concrete crew. The petitioner improving the public rights-of-way all around every edge of their parking lot and the reconfiguration of the billboard off-premise sign is about the most you can ask of a petitioner to request them to go up and down Western or to go further into the neighborhood would be beyond the scope of this project. So I think they've done everything that the city could ask of them as a petitioner for rezoning, and the city will need to do projects that would build upon this. Karen White has mentioned the church a block down. The Elks Club may want to participate in our curb and walk program, where they would just need to help with the materials money, and our crew would do the labor and equipment. So this project is doing its share of the heavy lifting, and the city will try and dovetail with it. That concludes my answer.
But you didn't answer my question, Gary, and I'm sorry, and I hate to be that person, because I'm always made it look like I'm, talking crazy or something, but I asked you one question. Will Laurel Street be the same size it is? Because you made mention in the last meeting, and I didn't even ask, and I'm trying to figure it out. Does that street look the same as it does right now? Is it going to be widened? How far down on Laurel are we going to go? Are we going to go down to Napier Street? Are we going to start shorter than Napier Street? How does that street look? Because obviously you're going to have a parking lot that's just there, and people are going to be going back off into Laurel Street or Pine Street. Am I correct? And so my question is about Laurel Street, because that street is in real bad condition, and I want to know what that street is going to look like once these do these improvements.
It'll be restored essentially as you see it.
So it'll be brick again?
No. In terms of the configuration, the cross-section of the street, the sidewalks, they're not going to widen the right-of-way. It's not going to become a 4-lane road or anything like that. It's just a narrow street. It's not a street reconstruction, added travel lane project. It's a reconstruct what's there.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions related to Bill 4211?
Now move for favorable recommendation.
You've heard the motion and the second to send Bill 4211 to full council favorably. All in favor so indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, the motion carries.
I will make a motion to continue 4311 to 101011.
You've heard the motion.
On the request of the petitioner.
You've heard the motion and the second to send 4311 to continue it until 1010, October the 10th, at the request of the petitioner. And you heard a second. All in favor so indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, the motion carries. Mr. Gordy, would you please give second reading to Bill 4711?
Public hearing on a bill of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, amending Chapter 21 of the South Bend Municipal Code, Article 1, Basic Provisions, Section 21-1-3, Non-Conforming Lots, Uses, Buildings, Structures, or Signs, and Article 4, Industrial Districts, Section 21-4.11, General Regulations for Industrial Districts.
Thank you, Mr. Boyd. Your committee report?
Yes, we do, Mr. Chair. The Zoning and Annexation Committee met this afternoon, and after weighing the pros and cons of Bill number 4711, sends it to the full council with a unanimous recommendation.
Thank you, Mr. Curtis. With the presenter, please make your presentation.
Kristen Nader with the Area Planning Commission, offices on the 11th floor of this building. This is a text change to correct errors made in a recent approved ordinance relating to the non-conforming use section. Sections 1, 2, and 3 are related to the non-conforming use section. It is to correctly reference a section that had been moved as part of the changes, to replace a section that had accidentally been removed, and to revise a section that had originally been intended to be revised, but it just had been missed. Section 4, which deals with Article 4 industrial districts, is to allow for legally established accessory uses, residential accessory uses to be rebuilt in the industrial district. We have similar wording in the commercial section. We just want to add it to the industrial section as well. It comes with a favorable recommendation from the Area Planning Commission. Are there any questions?
Thank you. Is there a question from the council to the petitioner? Any questions? Seeing none, hearing none. Anyone from the public wishing to speak in favor of Bill 4711? Anyone from the public wishing to speak in favor? Anyone in the public wishing to speak against Bill 4711? Seeing none, hearing none. Council, is there a motion?
This is favorable recommendation.
Second. You've heard the motion and the second to send 4711 to full council favorably. All in favor so indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, the motion carries.
I make a motion to continue 5611 to September 26th.
Second.
And
Councilman LaFontaine's input.
This afternoon, we did hold a presentation on this bill. At that time, we also set a continued meeting for the Personnel and Finance Committee on Monday.
Thank you, sir. To make note of the committee, hearing for the public is to be on the, September the 19th. And it'll come back to council again for hearing on the 26th. That's the motion. So all in favor, so in the show by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, the motion carries. Mr. Voddie, would you please give second reading of Bill 5011?
Public hearing on a bill of the Common Council of the City of South Bend to transfer a portion of Frederickson Park from the Board of Park Commissioners to the State of Indiana and to rescind Ordinance 10079-11.
Thank you, Mr. Voddie. Is there a committee report, please?
The Park Committee met this afternoon concerning 5011, send it to council with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Council members, I'm Thomas Bodner, Assistant City Attorney. I reside at 1618 East LaSalle, South Bend. Back in January, the State of Indiana Department of Transportation presented to the city an offer to purchase, pursuant to the statutes, a certain portion of Frederickson Park. The portion was on and adjacent to the south side of US 23 and to the west of the Boy Scout building there. And the Park Board passed a resolution in favor of that. We brought an ordinance to this council, and this spring you approved that sale. We received this summer, though, a letter rescinding that offer and a new offer of purchase for a smaller portion located at the same spot, but not going as far back off of US 23. The State of Indiana decided they did not need over 4,000 square feet. They needed less than 2,000. And, of course, the new offer, the amount of money was reduced proportionately. It's a good project, but I think everybody understands why the 23 needs to be widened. And once again, we ask for your approval so that project will not be delayed any further. Are there any questions?
Any questions of Mr. Bodner? Anyone?
Thank you.
Just as a note, we're actually talking about not US 23, but State Road 23.
Sorry. Thank you for correcting me.
Any council members, any questions of Mr. Bodner? Seeing none, is there a motion, please?
We have some
We have a public hearing. Anyone in the public wishing to speak in favor of Bill 5011, please come to the podium and state your name and address. Anyone present wishing to speak against it? Same option. Seeing none, hearing none, council, is there a motion?
Move for favor recommendation.
Second. You've heard the motion and the second to send 5011 to full council favorably. All in favor, so indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, the motion carries. Mr. Voddie, would you please give second reading of Bill 5111?
Public hearing on a bill of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, appropriating $280,080 within the Community and Economic Development Fund, number 212, from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development Shelter Plus Care Grant Program.
Thank you, Mr. Voddie. Your committee report, please.
Yes, it is. The Community Economic Development Subcommittee met this afternoon, and we sent Bill 5111 to the full council with a favorable recommendation.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Commissioner.
Pam Meyer, Community Development Director with offices on the 12th floor of this building. This ordinance allows us to work with Oakhorn Psychiatric Center, who is the recipient of the grant as approved by HUD. We are a pass-through, so that money comes to the city, we pass it on to that entity. It is to serve severely mentally ill people and to help to pay for rental assistance in 37 units spread throughout the community.
Thank you. Any council member have a question of Ms. Meyer? Mrs. Meyer. Anyone? Seeing none, hearing none, but anyone from the public wishing to speak in favor of Bill 5111, please come to the podium, state your name and address. Anyone present wishing to speak against it? Seeing none, hearing none, council, is there a motion?
Move for favor recommendation.
Second. There's a motion second to send 5111 to full council favorably. All in favor to indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, the motion carries. Mr. Voddie, would you please give second reading of Bill 5211?
Public hearing on a bill of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, authorizing the acquisition, construction, and installation of certain additions, extensions, and improvements to the city's sewage works, the issuance and sale of additional revenue bonds to provide funds for the payment of the costs thereof, and the collection, segregation, and distribution of the revenues of such sewage works and other related matters.
Thank you, Mr. Voddie. Is there a committee report?
The Utilities Committee met this afternoon. We bring Bill 5211 to the full council with a favorable report.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Is there a petitioner?
Yes, members of the council, Phil Sassanda from Barnes & Thornburg, 100 North Michigan, downtown South Bend. I'm here with, as well with Gary Gillot, our Public Works Director, who will describe the projects that are set forth in the bond ordinance in front of you. The ordinance is a sewage bond revenue ordinance. It is for bonds that are an amount not to exceed $22 million over a period of 20 years. The issuance of the bonds is necessary as part of the city's continued compliance with the EPA mandate on its control of combined sewage overflow. And Mr. Gillot will address the various projects that are part of this that will achieve that. One thing I wanted to bring to your attention is there is no rate increase that goes in connection with these bonds. There was a rate increase, as you might recall, in last year, and there was a similar bond ordinance and set of projects that were done to control the combined sewer overflow. This is a second step in that process, and there is no additional rate increase required. Thank you. Turn over to Mr.
Gary Gillot, Public Works Director, offices on the 13th floor of this building. The scope of this bond in terms of project proceeds includes a project on Diamond Avenue that will extend where we're currently working on Phase 1 that goes from the river just north of Angela at Riverside and west to about Woodward. We'll pick up from there with this funding and put a separate storm sewer along Diamond Avenue from Woodward to about Vassar. The second project is East Bank Sewer Separation Continuation. There are a couple projects actually in the East Bank, portions of Niles and north of Cedar to fill a gap between our storm sewer on Corby and the storm sewer we're just now building on LaSalle. Third project area is just east of Bendix and north of Lincoln Way West. This will carry separated stormwater north to a gravel pit, borrow pit that is just south of Lathrop and east of Bendix. The next project is wastewater treatment plant improvement, so that we can handle wet weather solids. When there's a heavy rain, we tend to get a flush of solids accumulation in the pipes, and that puts a burden on the anaerobic digestion process. There is a need to clean those tanks, which are original equipment. There are 4 tanks, 2 million gallons each. This scope of work will upgrade 2 of the primary anaerobic digesters, get rid of the accumulation of grit in the cone of the tank, change out the mixing systems which no longer function, and improve the process for the destruction of volatile organic solids so that we end up with a product, a byproduct that's useful for farm application. Beneficial reuse of biosolids is the green way that we process the residuals from the plant. We have a good pretreatment program that removes heavy metals, and mostly what's left in that biosolids material is a nitrogen fertilizer that's valuable on cropland. I mentioned earlier that in order to clean those tanks is about $1 million. So when you do the cleaning, and they really need cleaning now, you may as well get on with the rest of the improvements to the mixing systems and other process equipment. And then the last category is to do design plans and specifications for future projects under the CSO long-term control plan. We have plans for these projects, but we'd like to pick up the pace on design so that we can actually have firm contractor bids by the time the next revenue bond in the series is issued next year about this time. That concludes my remarks unless you have any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Shalat. Council, is there any questions of petitioner? Mr. Davis?
Sure. And I think I keep asking the same question over and again, and I'm looking for an actual answer. When we do projects like this, and they're as big as they are, when we're switching over to a brand new administration, is it in our best interest as a council or even as a public works director to enter into these agreements not knowing when and how the new administration is going to take over, what their philosophy is and what their mission is? I understand the EPA has mandated regulations, but there was a window to complete it. And so it's not like it has to happen tomorrow, 6 months from now, or maybe in a year from now. Are we putting ourselves in a bad predicament or making it very difficult for the next administration to function based upon these agreements that we're making now?
I don't think so, Councilmember Davis. I think you're following the plan. You approved, this council approved rates that had 4 steps and had a capital improvement plan associated with those 4 steps, and this is implementing that plan. Changes of administration will happen over the next 20 years, but there needs to be continuity toward the implementation of that plan. We can't change it every time there's a change in the mayor's office or the council makeup. This is a series of projects that would be baseline to any program that the city would do in the future. These need to be done.
Thank you, Mr. Shalat. Mr. Curtis?
Just one quick. Gary, I remember going to some of those design things quite a few years ago about it, was moving from Vassar and Diamond Avenue further towards Lincoln Way West out there. When will that come? In the next year or 2 years? Or?
The design money will get the next phases all the way to Walnut and Euclid so that we can pick up the model cities area, which was separated way back in the 1970s, but goes back into a combined sewer instead of taking it all the way to the river. So some of this is completing plans that were begun decades ago.
Is that going to go straight up Diamond that way?
Yes, most likely all the way on Diamond, although there's the possibility if we get the railroad right away from the abandoned spur line that parts of it might move over to there. But in the neighborhood meetings along Diamond Avenue, the overwhelming support from the citizens who live there was, even though it will be a very big, very deep pipe and they'll lose all the street, all the curbs, and all the sidewalks in order to get that big, deep pipe in the right-of-way of Diamond, they preferred that to get new infrastructure back, and they understood there would be dust and dirt and disruption, but they really wanted the new infrastructure rather than have the city move the alignment over onto the railroad corridor there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shalat. Now, I understood you, given your presentation, this $22 million project is going to impact both the 1st, 2nd, and 4th districts. We're going to have a wide area benefit from this separation of storm sewer.
Yes, this will affect the whole city. We've earlier provided what we got done with the first 4 years as we ramped up our rates and began doing early action projects, and we outlined a plan for the next 4 years. And by the time we've completed this program, every part of South Bend will benefit environmentally and in terms of public health. We'll stop the basement backups of sewage, and we'll put clean water in the river.
All right, thank you. Any other council members' question of the presenter? Seeing none here, is there a motion, like a public hearing, anyone from the public wishing to speak in favor of Bill 5211? Anyone present wishing to speak against it? Seeing none here, is there a motion from the council?
Move for favorable recommendation.
Second. Motion is made and properly second to send 5211 full council favorably. All in favor so indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion to resolve from the committee of the... All in favor? Aye.
5211.
Third reading on a bill amending the ordinance for property bounded by Pine Street, Western Avenue, Laurel Street, and the first alley north of Western Avenue, Councilmanic District 2 in the city of South Bend, Indiana.
Move for passage of Bill 42-11.
Second.
40, roll.
Mr. Henry Davis. Aye. Mr. LaFountain.
Aye.
Mrs. Puzello.
Aye.
Dr. Varner. Aye. Vice President Oliver Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Cursit.
Aye.
Councilmember Rout.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
President Dieter.
Aye.
9 ayes.
4711.
Third reading on a bill of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, amending Chapter 21 of the South Bend Municipal Code, Article 1, Basic Provisions, Section 21-01-3, Non-Conforming Lots, Uses, Buildings, Structures, or Signs, and Article 4, Industrial Districts, Section 21-4.11, General Regulations for Industrial Districts.
Move for passage of Bill 47-11.
Second. Please.
Mr. LaFountain.
Aye.
Mrs. Puzello.
Aye.
Dr. Varner.
Aye.
Vice President Oliver Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Cursit.
Aye.
Councilmember Rout.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Mr. Henry Davis.
Aye.
President
Aye.
Dieter. 9 ayes.
5011.
Third reading on a bill of the Common Council of the City of South Bend to transfer a portion of Frederickson Park from the Board of Park Commissioners to the State of Indiana and to rescind Ordinance 10079-11.
Move for the passage of 5011.
Second.
40.
Mrs. Puzello.
Aye.
Dr. Varner. Vice President Oliver Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Cursit.
Aye.
Councilmember Rout.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Henry Davis.
Aye.
Mr. LaFountain.
Aye.
President Dieter.
Aye.
9 ayes.
51.
Third reading on a bill of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, appropriating $280,080 within the Community Economic Development Fund 212 from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development Shelter Plus Care Grant Program.
Move for the passage of 5111.
Second.
40.
Dr. Varner.
Aye.
Vice President Oliver Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Cursit.
Aye.
Councilmember Rout.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Mr. Henry Davis.
Aye.
Mr. LaFountain.
Aye.
Mrs. Puzello.
Aye.
President Dieter. 9 ayes.
Resolution.
52.
5211.
Third reading on a bill of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, authorizing the acquisition, construction, and installation of certain additions, extensions, and improvements to the city's sewage works. The issuance and sale of additional revenue bonds to provide funds for the payment of the costs thereof, and the collection, segregation, and distribution of the revenues of such sewage works and other related matters.
Move for the passage of 5211.
Second.
40.
Vice President Oliver Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Curtin.
Aye.
Councilmember Rowe.
Aye.
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Mr. Henry Davis.
Aye.
Mr. LaFountain.
Aye.
Mrs. Puzello.
Aye.
Dr. Varner.
Aye.
President
Aye.
Dieter. 9 ayes.
Now we
I'd like to make a motion that for purpose of public hearing, that we would hear Resolution 11-55, 11-56, and 11-57.
Second the motion.
motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition?
1155, a resolution reconfirming the adoption of a declaratory resolution designating certain areas within the city of South Bend, Indiana, commonly known as vacant land at 1730 Alston Court to be an economic revitalization area for purposes of a 5-year residential property tax abatement for Brant L. and Louisa Maria Hesch. 1156, a resolution reconfirming the adoption of a declaratory resolution designating certain areas within the city of South Bend, Indiana, commonly known as vacant land at 1833 Alston Court to be an economic revitalization area for purposes of a 5-year residential property tax abatement for Roger W. Wilson, and Allison S. Wilson. 1157, a resolution reconfirming the adoption of a declaratory resolution designating certain areas within the city of South Bend, Indiana, commonly known as vacant land at 1746 Alton Court and vacant land at 1810 Alton Court, to be an economic revitalization area for purposes of a 5-year residential property tax abatement for Foster Custom Homes.
Thank you. Committee report.
This is reconfirming.
Well, this Community Economic Development Subcommittee met this afternoon, and we sent all Senate bills to the full council favorably.
Presenter.
Before Mr. King gets his presentation, in each of the bills, section 1, the last line, that the word declaratory be struck and replaced with confirmatory. Need a motion for that.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Language, all in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Now we have a presenter.
Mr. President, members of the council, my name is Bernard Feeney. I'm a registered land surveyor, 715 South Michigan Street here in South Bend. I'm here this evening on behalf of each of the petitioners in these 3 resolutions. The purpose of these 3 resolutions is to extend property tax abatement on 4 lots in the Norwood Manor subdivision. As some of you may recall, Norwood Manor is the last section of Kensington Farms that Jack Hickey subdivided. And it exists to the south and slightly to the east of the largest lagoon in the Kensington Farms area. And just 1 property off of Kern Road. Small little cul-de-sac containing 13 lots. These 4 lots represent an extension of 1 year for the original abatement from 5 years to now 6 years to allow the 3 petitioners an opportunity to build their homes and still avail themselves of the abatement. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you. Any questions from council?
Yeah, real quick, I'm trying to picture where we're at. Is this off of Kern Road?
It is not directly off of Kern Road, but just slightly north of Kern Road, Mr. Davis.
Because I kind of remember what was coming up before. Yeah, and so...
York Road comes off of Kern Road, and just as soon as you get off of Kern, you take a right, and then a right again, and you'll be on Alton Court.
Okay.
So it's only a few hundred feet north of Kern Road.
Sure. Thanks.
All right, anyone like to speak in favor? Opposition? Seeing none, can I have a motion for 1155?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Wardy?
Mr. Curson.
Aye.
Councilmember Rouse. Aye. Councilmember White.
Aye.
Mr. Henry Davis.
Aye.
Mr. LaFountain.
Aye.
Mrs. Puzello.
Aye.
Dr. Varner. Aye. Vice President Oliver Davis.
Aye.
President Dieter.
Aye.
9 ayes.
1156.
Second motion on 1156.
Second.
Councilmember Rouse. Aye. Councilmember White.
Aye.
Mr. Henry Davis.
Aye.
Mr. LaFountain.
Aye.
Mrs. Puzello.
Aye.
Dr. Varner.
Aye.
Vice President Oliver Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Curson.
Aye.
President
Aye.
Dieter. 9 ayes.
1157.
Second motion on 1157.
Second. Mr. Wardy?
Councilmember White.
Aye.
Mr. Henry Davis.
Aye.
Mr. LaFountain.
Aye.
Mrs. Puzello.
Aye.
Dr. Varner. Vice President Oliver Davis. Mr. Cursit.
Aye.
Councilmember Rouse.
Aye.
President Dieter. 9 ayes.
Proceed to first reading. And by the way, Parliament Attorney, that's probably the first time in council history we've gone from 1157 to 5711. Mr. Wardy? Need a motion?
It's a full moon.
Move that we hear the... Until after we have the first reading.
5711, first reading. First reading on a bill amending the zoning ordinance for property located at 120 West Pokagon Street, South Bend, Indiana, 46617, Councilmanic District 1 in the city of South Bend, Indiana.
Move that we hear the substitute version of 5711.
Motion to second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition?
And move that 5711 be sent to area planning.
Motion to second, all in favor? Opposition? 5811.
First reading on a bill amending the zoning ordinance for property located at 717 East LaSalle Street, South Bend, Indiana, 46617, Councilmanic District Number 4 in the city of South Bend, Indiana.
Move that Bill 58-11 be sent to area plan.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? 5911.
First reading on a bill of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, appropriating $95,000 from General Fund Number 101 to purchase and specially equip 4 police vehicles.
Move that 5911 be sent for second reading, public hearing on 9/2016 sent to the Health and Public Safety Committee. Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? 6011.
First reading on a bill of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, appropriating $400,000 from Sewage Works Capital Fund Number 642 for engineering expense on the primary clarifier rehabilitation project.
Move that 6011 be sent to Utilities Committee, have second reading, public hearing, and third reading on 9/26.
I'll second that. Motion to second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? 6111.
First reading on a bill of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, appropriating the sum of $1,498,700 from Economic Development Income Tax Edit Fund Number 408 for infrastructure investment.
6111 be sent to Public Works and Property Vacation for second reading, third reading, and public hearing for 9/26.
Second. Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposition? We have a motion for Bill 1154 to go to CED for 9/26. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Any new business before this council? Privilege of the floor. Anybody who wants to speak to this council this time about anything we haven't covered tonight, you need to go up to the podium. We need your name and address. And Dr. David Varner will time you. You have 3 minutes to talk to us. Seeing none. We're adjourned.
All right, appreciate the Matt, man. You do a great job.